Congressional map in Texas is sparking national debate. The proposal would create 5 new districts that lean Republican and could shift the balance of the power in the United States House of Representatives. Democrats are already pushing back, calling the plan partisan and potentially unconstitutional, to which Vice President J.D. Vance responded with this post, quote, "The gerrymander in California is outrageous. Of their 52 congressional districts, 9 of them are Republican. That means 17% of their delegation is Republican, when Republicans regularly win 40% of the vote in that state. How can that possibly be allowed?" California does currently have a nonpartisan citizens redistricting committee to avoid gerrymandering, something they do not have in Vance's home of Ohio. Governor Newsom responded with this map and wrote, "Try again, dum-dum." Today, I spoke exclusively with the chair of the Democratic Party, Ken Martin. He was in an East LA restaurant to talk with business leaders. We talked about the redistricting fight in Texas. J.D. Vance just today saying more states should do what Texas is doing.
Well, look, I mean, this is why do you think J.D. Vance is saying that? Because they're on the wrong side of the issues right now. Donald Trump is sitting at 37% approval. The Americans have buyer's remorse, people who voted for Donald Trump. They are certainly headed towards a certain election loss next year if this trend continues. And so the only thing they can do, of course, is rig the system, is to cheat, to do a mid-cycle redistricting in states to steal more seats, which is essentially what they're doing in Texas. And as I've said, if Texas wants a showdown, we'll give them a showdown. And the Democratic Party is not going to sit back and just watch this happen. How confident am I that we'll prevail? Who knows? But we're not going to just sit back and just let it happen. We're going to fight with every fiber of our being, everything we have, against this craven power grab by Donald Trump, one of the most unpopular presidents. Most of his policies are unpopular with the American people, and so they know that they're not going to win. If next year is a referendum on Donald Trump, they will lose. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to rig the maps and change the rules of the game midstream. That's not how this works. This will be highly unpopular with the American people, even if they succeed.
So if Texas goes forward with this, California Governor Newsom is suggesting that there will be a special election here to get rid of our citizen redistricting and essentially have a map where there's more Democratic seats than Republican seats. Is that something that you support?
Well, listen, what I support is Governor Newsom having this conversation with Californians. I think it's the right conversation. If Texas is going to do this, guess what? California can do it as well. How they do that, what he decides to do, ultimately that's up to him, right? But I'm glad that he is standing up and pushing back on what Donald Trump and the Republicans are trying to do. You know, again, I'll leave it to him. You know, he's a very popular governor. He was elected by wide margins. I'm certain he'll have the right conversation with California lawmakers and, of course, Californians about how to proceed here. But I will tell you, we're not going to sit back. As I said, we're going to fight fire with fire. Two can play at this game, and I'm almost certain a lot of Democratic governors around the country are going to have something to say if Texas succeeds here.
So if Newsom puts forward a plan, does that have the full backing of the DNC in terms of fundraising, in terms of messaging, in terms of all of your infrastructure?
We certainly will support the governor and California Democrats in whatever decision they make here.
And if Texas drops their plan to do this, then Newsom said he will drop his effort as well.
Right, although it's increasingly looking like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot more with Ken Martin in our political show, The Issue Is, Friday at 10:30, including me pressing him on why is the Democratic Party more unpopular now than it's ever been. How he answers that Friday at 10:30.
All right.